Hi guys, Ashley from Ash Cash Budget here. If you're new to this channel, I am following the Dave Ramsey baby steps. I am currently on baby step number 2, paying off about $42,000 in debt. This is going to be my debt snowball for the beginning of August. So let's see how I did last month. It was a really low income month. I did save a kitten today. So I do have some battle wounds. I don't know if you can see them, but I've got some scratches going on. She's doing a lot better now. I think it's a girl. She's letting me hold her and pet her and stuff. I'm taking her to the vet in the morning. Now, should I have done that considering my situation right now? Probably not. And am I going to keep her? I don't know. She's really stinking cute, but I don't know about having 3 cats, especially with my recent allergy diagnosis and having to have an EpiPen and everything, and then just the cost of having another cat. But I definitely want to take her to the vet and get her fixed up. Now, there are a lot of street cats downtown, but she's maybe 6 months max. She might even, I think, be a little bit younger. She didn't have her family around. She was living in a pipe all by herself, and I couldn't leave her there. There was somebody had been feeding her. I don't think they could get to her, or maybe they couldn't take her to a vet or anything like that, so they thought feeding her would be good. So they were feeding her, and she was just in this small little pipe all by herself. I finally got her out of that pipe, and we'll see what happens. But let's go over what happened in the month of July, my slowest month of the year so far, I think. Last month, of course, I paid off my last consumer debt, so all of my consumer debt is paid. I totally forgot to fill this section out, so let me just do that real quick. Alright, sorry about that. It's all about the student loans now. I have them all under Fed loan, so I only have to pay 1 minimum payment, and it spreads it out the way it's supposed to over all 7 loans. I have 7 loans with them, and that's all of my student loan debt. So that is the only thing I have left. I do have a couple more months filled out like this because I thought it was going to take a little longer to pay off my Capital One Discover this year. So I will keep filling it out like this. I don't know, maybe in the future I might just cut it down to just this so I don't have to fill this out every single time. The minimums actually come out to $129.21. I like to round up, so I have an automatic payment that comes out for their minimums every month at $130. I did that recently, and it does take off 0.25%. It's not much, but it does something at least for the interest. It helps out a little bit in the meantime. Now that I'm at my student loans, I am breaking it down smallest to largest, just like a regular debt snowball. So the $130 will pay in the middle of the month. It's my minimum every month, so that'll pay for sure. And then whatever else I can squeeze out of my budget to put towards the debt snowball goes towards the smallest loan. Last month I was actually able to add another $91.44 to that one on top of the giant payment I made to Discover to pay that off. This month was my lowest month. You can watch my budget report coming up in a few days about, you know, my conflicts, about my sinking funds and all that stuff. You can watch that for that information. What it comes down to is I paid $352 on that snowball. So that's on top of that $130. So I'm just gonna put this extra snowball. This is the minimum payment amount, and this is the snowball column. So I'm going to put $352 right there. Now, a traditional debt snowball amount would be all of these previous minimums rolled into one. And so my ideal minimum snowball amount would be $425 on this. And you would actually add the minimum of the current thing as well, but since this is being paid for sure with the minimum in that, so all of these old ones were $425. So I didn't quite make that, but I think I did pretty good considering how much money I was bringing in last month. This month, I was hoping to do a little bit better. We'll see with the whole kitten situation. Let's go over the numbers real quick. Now that I paid $352 on that one, I am left with $1,963.71. That is crazy to see that under $2,000. I mean, I've had these student loans for 3.5 years now, and they pretty much stayed the same exact amount because the minimum payment pretty much covers just interest plus a little bit extra. And I did used to pay a higher amount before I got on this plan. I was only paying $175, but I thought that was great at the time. So it did pay it off a little bit, but not very much over the 3.5 years. Next, we have $2,648.04. It's almost $2 less. Then we have $3,689.17. Another couple of dollars there. $3,714.37, $5,387.11, $5,423.03, and finally $7,041.64. All of these went down by almost $2 to about, that's almost $4. So at least it's kind of going down a little bit, but again, it's not much. The minimum payment mostly covers that interest. Of course, as I pay off the other ones, if I keep paying $130, then it'll be more towards each one. So I'm thinking as time goes on, those will go down a little bit faster as I pay off the different loans. We'll see how that goes. This leaves me with a total of, get ready for it, guys. This is exciting. $29,867.11. Yes. $29,867.11. I am under $30,000, and I'm safely enough under $30,000 that I think even with the interest next month, I'm below $30,000. Like, it's just been most of this debt-free journey so far. I started off at just over $42,000, and so most of this debt-free journey was in the 30s. I'm sure the 20s are going to take me just as long, if not longer, but it feels so good to be out of the $30,000 range. It's crazy. And it's exciting, and it makes me feel really good, and especially when I'm looking at these numbers. The bottom two were less than the Capital One and Discover. These middle two were about the same as each of those, and then these last three are higher than anything I've paid before, and so it's a little daunting, but I think it's a real motivator to see that I've paid so much off, that I'm below $30,000. So I'm just going to enter this up here because, of course, that number is going to be the same for the ultimate total. As I said, this was still written up because I thought it was going to take longer. The total down from last month with the $352 and the $130 minus interest is $370.64. That's pretty good. I think that's a decent amount for how much I brought in. And then from the very beginning of my debt-free journey, I have paid off $12,421.18. It's crazy. The total actual paid since last month is $482, which means I have lost $111.36 to interest this month. It's better than in the past. Remember when I was losing like $225 or $250 to interest? So $111, I guess, isn't as bad. My total actual paid from the very beginning, though, it's a scary amount, $16,457.20, which means since the beginning, which was March of last year, is $4,036.02. I've lost $4,000 to interest, guys. I'm so ready to be done with debt. And that's it. I know it was a little long. There was talks of kittens. Things went crazy, but ultimately, I'm under $30,000, guys. I'm so excited. So we'll see how this month goes. At least I've hit that milestone. I'm sure you'll be updated in some of my other videos about the kitten. Of course, put the links up above to subscribe and another video that YouTube will suggest for you guys. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.